Final boss of Skyward Sword, a Demon Lord Girahim, or however you're supposed to pronounce his name. The final boss of this game takes place in more or less 5 stages, and this guy is the first 3, so we need to knock him off the edge, and that seems to just be most consistently done by stabbing him. Also, excuse my low amounts of hearts. I died when I was recording this, so I had to start with 6 hearts because the game doesn't give them all back. Anyway, if you just stab him over and over again and make sure that you're facing him toward an edge, you should be able to get him there pretty easily, and eventually he might put his hands up like that and have some sparkly gloves that will do some pretty cool twisting moves if you attack him in the wrong direction. So just be a little bit patient, make sure you are hitting him in the right way, and you'll be able to knock him off that way too. The annoying thing about this boss is that up until this point in the game, you truthfully don't need to ever use a shield. I did not once use a single one of my shields until I got to this guy. And he's also very dependent on being stabbed, which for me is the least consistent motion control, so it just makes him a little bit more challenging, but not for the right reasons. So we don't need to use a shield in the first phase. We definitely will want to in the second phase, and we'll need to stab him a lot in the first one, which is why I complained about the stabbing, and we'll also need to stab him a lot in the second phase and a lot in the third phase. Once he falls down here, he'll groan a little bit and then get up, and he's going to pull out a sword. And now we're going to need to block his attacks. That's the only way I found that we can really consistently damage him. So we're going to wait for him to attack, and you're going to want to shield bash or parry him, and then stab his heart once, and if you're really quick, you might be able to do it twice. Once you damage him that way, he's going to throw some of those energy beams at you, and sometimes he might summon some scarabs or knives or whatever they are, and throw those at you too. When you are starting this boss fight, I would suggest you get at least 2 different types of shields. The Sacred Shield is okay because it regenerates its health, but if you are not careful, as I am not being right now, he can destroy it pretty easily, and it's a little bit harder, for me anyway, it was a little bit harder to parry those horizontal swipes, and I think he does end up breaking my shield. The stabs I could get just fine, it's just the other swipes for some reason were a little bit harder to time, and I think that's mostly in part to the fact that I didn't use my shield whatsoever until this boss, so I never had to practice with it. And to parry, you're just going to shake the nunchuck, of course. Then he will take damage again, break my shield, throw more knives at me, break a shield. I do have an iron shield that is upgraded at least once, so that's a good thing to try to do before you come here. Buy the wooden, buy the iron, buy the sacred shield, and maybe get some more fairies. I only had one in a jar, but that's really all I needed. And we have to hit this guy, I think, at least 6 times in his chest. I don't remember exactly, but we just gotta keep following those steps until he does in fact die. There, I finally got the hang of parrying his horizontal swipes, but then the motion controls made me do a front spin attack instead of a stab, so that was very unfortunate. And I think I only need one more hit on this guy. Yep. And once that happens, he's going to pull out a gigantic sword, and this is probably one of the easier phases for him. I don't know if it's easier than the first one, but you need to destroy the sword, and that's best done just by dodging his attack and then hitting him, and you're going to hit the sword until it breaks. Every now and then he will change the direction of the sword, though. The first time that you hit him there, he's not really going to change it too often, but the second time he's going to change it pretty much after every single hit. So you're just going to want to be patient, which I am not being right there, and just wait for the sword to switch so you can destroy it, and you only have to hit him in his chest twice here. And this will be the final boss, so when I said that there were 5 phases, Demise is the final 2. The first phase of him is very annoying, and it's just going to take a while to get. I tried a million other ways to make this a little bit more manageable, but I just could not really find any of them. I tried parrying him, and the most consistent way that I found was just to hit him 3 times, all in different directions, and the 3rd time will usually always hit him at least once. When you do strike him for damage, he likes to attack you, and if you're quick, you might be able to damage him in the middle of his attack or immediately afterwards, but he's usually just going to be blocking the garbage out of anything you throw at him. You can also run off before this battle and get all the hearts and anything else you need. I don't know if I kept that in the video. I know I cut out the heart collecting, but anyway, there's kind of a checkpoint after Girahim and between this guy and Girahim. So you can go run off, get all the hearts you need. Make sure you save. That way if you do die to this guy, you can just reset the Wii and reload that save, because if you continue, you're only going to spawn with 6 hearts, and all your shields are going to be degraded, and it's just a pain in the neck. And we have to hit him, I think, I don't know, 10 times, I haven't really counted. But as I said, just 3 different directions with your sword, so side, side, and then up or down, and that seems to be a consistent way of hitting him at least once. And again, if you're really quick, you might be able to hit him while he's attacking you. I don't think I got that in this attempt here. This is definitely the hardest phase of Demise. The second one is a lot more fun and a lot shorter. Once we take him down that way, he's going to stick his sword in the air, which will be a big hint of what we need to do, and he's going to electrocute it. So now his sword will do 2 hearts of damage, which is going to kill you very quickly, and if you attack him, he's going to block you with his electric blade, and that's also going to do 1 heart of damage for you, so don't attack him directly. You want to stick your sword in the air, get some lightning, and strike him. Now if he throws his sword power at you and you throw yours at his, then that'll cancel each other out and you'll have to get lightning again before you can damage him. And you really want to get lightning to damage him. It's not worth trying to do it any other way. When you power up your sword, he tends to throw his at yours, so just dodge that first, and then you should be able to get in a lot of good hits. And once you do this 3 or 4 times, he will be dead, but you'll have to do a couple of fatal blows. And whether I was too slow or this is just built into the game, I'm not too sure which. I had to do 3 fatal blows before it finally defeated him.
Oi.